You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Welcome to Sweden After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Welcome to Sweden After Show.
Hi everyone, we're here at AFTERBUZZ TV for the Welcome to Sweden After Show. I'm your host, Britta Garsow, here with my co-host, Carli Garsow. And this episode is called Fitting In, and it fits the whole theme of the episode perfectly because Bruce is struggling to fit in the entire episode. Shocking, I know. Yeah, kind of like what he's been doing, but it gets pretty intense this episode. This was my least favorite episode because it was so depressing to watch.
I felt so sad for Bruce.
It was
the
really
whole
sad.
time. So the episode starts off obviously with Emma and Bruce at a party or like a restaurant with all of her girlfriends, which I don't know why none of their husbands were there. I felt like it was like, obviously Bruce is gonna feel out of place if he's the only male in like a sea of women.
Which I think any guy can relate to when he's the only male with like his girlfriend and all her girlfriends.
Either way, he's going to be out of place. And I felt like they I felt so bad for him.
Yeah.
He was talking to Emma's friend, what was her name? Lisa. And she was struggling speaking English to him, which we found out, we'll get more to this later, but Greg Poehler did an interview with BuzzFeed, and he said that most people in Sweden actually do speak English, so the fact that everyone was speaking Swedish was very inaccurate.
Yeah, like he was literally the only one at the party that wasn't speaking Swedish, and you know that's not true.
Yeah, like, you know,
at least one person, well, Emma knows how to speak English, but she wasn't even. She was speaking Swedish.
Yeah, and I just felt so bad for him because it's hard to learn a new language, especially Swedish. I don't even know what is coming out of their mouths. Like, it's not like other language, you know, like French or Spanish or German that you can learn in school, and you can learn in school because it's easier, I feel like, to grasp. And Swedish seems so tough, and Bruce is trying his best, and then eventually, like, Lisa didn't invite them to her next party because she was uncomfortable speaking English to Bruce. Come on, Lisa.
I know. It was really sad. And
like, this is like Mean Girls all grown up. Like, really?
Yeah. Oh, and Welcome to Sweden was renewed for a second season. Woo! So yay! That's exciting. Yay!
So congrats to them.
And this season is just halfway through, so we still have more.
Crazy.
And so if you guys like what we're doing, please go onto iTunes and review us. Give us good ratings.
Keep listening. Keep watching. We love your guys' YouTube comments. So thank you very much.
Do. Thank you.
Okay, so this episode, obviously we've been talking about how Bruce doesn't have very many friends, but he does have Hassan. Hassan is his one go-to friend, and I felt like we were just saying it's called fitting in. He doesn't fit in. He can't make friends because he can't speak Swedish.
But he also doesn't really want to. I think he's very discouraged.
Yeah, he doesn't want to.
And I think if I were in that situation and I was in a foreign country, I would get very discouraged too, and it would make you not really want to learn the language and fit in. You would just be like, why can't everyone accept me for me? Which is, I think, his biggest struggle.
I think so too, and I agree. Like, I don't believe that you need to learn a language in a country and act like these people just to fit in. Like, you should just be yourself and find friends that like agree with your personality. I just feel so bad that he's struggling so much because it seems like all Swedish people must be the same if he can't find any Swedish friends that accept him.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. You know, that's very exaggerated.
So this episode, when he's telling Emma how he's sad about not fitting in, his one thing is that he keeps saying, well, his son accepts me for who I am.
It was so sweet.
Well, but he still doesn't know he's American. And he's like, Hassan wouldn't make fun of my blue jeans.
So the whole episode, you think Hassan is just his great friend, and
wait,
you're so happy.
real quick though, can we talk about the part where they're playing video games in their Emma and Bruce's apartment? Which, by the way, like, so a few episodes ago, or the last episode, where they said they're getting rid of all their furniture and starting over. Their apartment is beautiful now. It looks like something straight out of Anthropology. Like, they painted, have all new furniture.
It's really pretty.
So Bruce and Hassan are playing video games, and there's a flag, like an American flag pillow on the couch behind them. And Hassan, like, when he goes, what is this? How did this get here? And Bruce is like, oh, that's so weird. Like, why is it here? And Hassan's like, we must burn it. And then he's like, well, at least let me throw it away. And we were laughing so hard that, like, he can't even see a pillow without, like, hating America that much. And then they're playing video games some more. And
Hassan goes, follow me. And Bruce is like, how do you know where to go? And he's like, I used to live here.
Like Iraq. Like, the video game is Iraq. We laughed so hard. Hassan's so great and heartwarming.
Well, not
Not anymore.
Okay, so you see this journey between Hassan and Bruce, and you're so happy Bruce has at least one friend, because Emma is barely even being his friend.
No, I don't like her very much for it right
I know.
now.
So at the end of the episode, Bruce wants to tell Hassan that he's an American, and he wants to be honest with his only friend, and he goes over there. Hassan doesn't have a phone, so he has to go to his door. Sad.
Aww.
Sad, but not really, because Hassan tells Bruce
Breaks up with
that
him.
he doesn't want to be his friend anymore.
It was so sad, you guys. Like, I was like, no. Like, Hassan, throughout the whole episode, all he was talking about was, I have Hassan. He's my friend. I don't need to, like, fit in with people that don't like me, which is true. Like, it's a good attitude to have. Now he doesn't even have
It's
Hassan.
hard to lose one friend when you have even others, but when you have 0 other friends and you lose your only friend, I can't even imagine.
No, it was so discouraging and sad. But he did have a breakthrough with Emma's mom, Vivica. They went to a spa day, and Bruce kicks. They're getting pedicures, and he kicks the pedicurist in the face. It was so funny.
Which is actually funny, too, because we were talking to one of our friends this past week about how her feet are ticklish and she can't go get a pedicure because she's worried about kicking them in the face.
And I'm like, oh, that will never happen. It was just funny to see it. I mean, it was on TV, so it didn't happen in real life, but just that it does happen, obviously.
Yeah, so when they're at the spa, they're kind of having a heart-to-heart, but, well, she's pretty intense and doesn't like Bruce, so she's making him really uncomfortable with all these really crazy questions, and he answers one of her questions about, like, can you promise to never hurt my daughter? And he answers with, like, I will love her.
I wrote it down. He said, I will love her more than anyone has loved anyone else in the history of people loving. It was so cute.
And she goes, that was a surprisingly good answer. So yay, Bruce finally is getting kind of on her good side, but then she accidentally friend requests him on Facebook, and she said it's an accident. So and he gets really excited.
But I feel like Bruce is so underappreciated, and it bothers me because he's clearly such a good guy, such a good boyfriend, and I feel like Emma is kind of being rude to him. Like, when they were having the conversation, her friend told her that they weren't invited to Lisa's party because of Bruce, basically, and she didn't have to tell him that. Like, obviously, he already feels bad enough he's not fitting in. Like, then she told him, and he felt worse, but it was really cute. Like, he always makes the best of every situation, and I feel like that's so underappreciated because so very few people do that. He immediately was like, I'm going to make this better, and he gets the computer out and calls Lisa and translates the conversation so he can speak to her in Swedish like she wanted. And it was just, he tries so hard for Emma, and I just feel like...
Well, when he did that, she seemed to kind of be her friendly self again, but I would like to see more Emma, good Emma, because she has been a little rude.
Like, if your boyfriend moved to another country for you, like, wouldn't you dedicate your time and your energy and to them and, like, making them feel comfortable rather than... She's almost, I feel like she regrets the fact that he moved there.
Yeah, it's getting, well, this episode, like we said, was very depressing.
It was so sad.
There was barely any Gustav.
No, barely any. We saw his face in, like, one frame.
It was like his shadow. I really was bummed. No Gustav. Gustav is... And the uncle has not come back since the first episode, and he was really funny, too.
But that makes me think that he's going to be, like, a main character in an upcoming episode.
Yeah, we can talk about that later.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so time for some Swedish fun facts.
Yay!
Okay, so this week we actually have
a few facts for you guys. I found this BuzzFeed article, 19 things you never knew about IKEA. I never knew any of them, and they're all very interesting.
Like, you know the things you do know. They have a great cinnamon rolls and pizza and really cheap furniture.
We told you guys that if you didn't know, and yeah.
Yeah, so,
fantastic.
you know, you don't think anything else about IKEA. You just go there and buy the furniture and maybe some food. But these are some great facts to know.
Okay, so one of them was the most popular product is the Billy bookshelf. And IKEA sells one Billy bookshelf every 10 seconds. That means since we started this,
I think 100,000, 100,000.
I don't know, I was like trying to do math early, but 10 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Well, they've sold a lot of bookshelves, you guys. Okay, never trying math on air again, but. Okay,
so next one. IKEA uses approximately 1% of the world's entire commercial supply of wood.
The entire supply! 1%!
Not Swedish supply, the entire world.
Isn't that insane? Like, because, okay, is plywood the same thing as wood?
Well, I mean, I think it has, like, an interior.
Would be counted? Because I was going to say a lot of their products I didn't even think were real wood.
Well, they make wooden furniture. They have wooden furniture.
They do. Okay.
So that's pretty shocking if you want to blame people for killing the trees.
Yeah, this is a good one. IKEA, I feel like it's a very progressive company in general. They're always like one step ahead of the game. And in 2016, they will convert their entire lighting range to LED. So only LED lamps and bulbs will be sold then and out, which is great. Like, it conserves energy. It might be a little more expensive, but I feel like since it's still from IKEA.
So that makes up for using so much of the world's wood.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they use it, though. They produce, like...
That's true.
You're supposed to use it.
Yeah.
If you're cutting down trees.
But if you're not, like, recycling it, you know.
Well, who knows?
It's
they
fine.
Might do that, too.
It's fine. They're helping the world.
Yeah. So I thought that was really good of them.
In the UK, 1 in 5 people sleep on an IKEA mattress. I'm actually surprised that more people in the US... Well, there's not too many IKEAs. But if there was more, I feel like more people would.
Yeah, they're cheaper, which is nice, but I'm pretty picky about my mattress.
Me too, but the price is probably what gets people in.
Yeah.
1 in 5, that's a lot.
It is
in the UK.
Lot. That's a ton.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, IKEA mattresses, we've seen, like, our roommate used to have one. When you buy them, they come in a, like, rolled up, super bizarre, and you don't think it can be a mattress, then you just, like, cut it and it like expands into a mattress. Crazy. It's pretty funny.
I don't know.
Just a side note.
Okay, so the founder, his name is Ingvar Kamprad, and he's dyslexic, so that's why all their products have names instead of numbers. Which I always like that they have names because they all have like the series that they're in, and then each product is named. So I feel like it's easier to find what you're looking for. If there was numbers, we would all get so confused. So I'm glad he was just
there would be too many numbers. They have so many products.
Yeah, they actually have 9,500 home furnishing products in the IKEA range. So yeah, too many numbers. We're glad they have names. There is more copies of the IKEA catalog printed each year than the Bible. Oh, this is really interesting. So IKEA is actually an acronym, which I think we all kind of assumed, but no one ever bothered to look up what it means. So I don't know what I think the I is really just I, and then the K.
Like myself, I.
Yeah, and then the K is Kamprad, which is the founder's last name. The E is Elmtard, which is the farm he grew up on. And the A is Agunnard, which is his hometown. So I think basically he's saying, like, I'm from here, grew up on this farm, and this is my last name. Which is really cool.
Neat.
Really cool.
Oh, everyone should find, like, their IKEA name. Like, I'd be
okay.
I-G.
Wait, what's the farm you...
Well, you would do farm, your city you're from, or town,
okay,
and then hometown would be, like, your state, I think. That would make more sense.
So...
I-G-G-W. So that does not make a word.
I-G-G-W. Igloo.
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 Do yours. Write them on the comments.
Do yours. Write it on YouTube. Let us know if you guys have cool ones. Like, they actually form a word. That'd be really cool.
So it's I, the first letter of your last name, first letter of your city you were from,
are from, first letter of your state you're from.
Unless you actually are from a farm, then you can follow this specific instructions. So then it would be I, first letter of your last name, first letter of the farm you grew up on, and the first letter of your hometown for those of you folks in the farming community.
So that's it for fun facts and acronyms. Okay, so Bruce and Emma this episode still not doing the best.
I don't have any hope for them.
Like, the show's renewed for a second season, so
and it's
they
funny because
somehow have to make it.
I mean, it's based on his life, and he's married to this woman now.
Yeah.
So I don't know how loosely it's based on the relationship. I don't know if they're following strictly more so the things he went through while he was in Sweden or focusing more on his relationship with his wife. So I guess maybe if they're choosing one or the other, that this is kind of all made up, the relationship stuff. But it's just not, I really want to see them getting along. I feel like it's kind of frustrating as a viewer when the show is supposed to be about him moving there for her. Like, yes, he is moving there and he's in Sweden and it's brand new, but he's also moving there for her and we don't see them together very much.
Well, in her defense, he did say he wanted to move there for a new life. He was sick of accounting and wanted a new life. So he really didn't make that choice. But I think it's not even that they're not getting along, because there was parts in this episode where they were happy.
And they were cute.
But she's not defending him at all. Like, I feel like she's not on his, like, she's not a part of his team. And when you should be, especially if someone moved across the country. Like, not to a different country for you.
Or just did anything, like a big gesture like that for you. And it's frustrating to see that, like, I feel like Bruce has no one at this point. No one. And he's, like, struggling. And he's always optimistic and always, like, pretty, like, level-headed about things and doesn't get too frustrated, which is, I mean, anyone else in his shoes would be super through-the-roof frustrated. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I really hope that we see more of that. We can move on to predictions.
Predictions. Okay, so we see Bruce's parents at the end of the episode very briefly. They call him. They're not in Sweden. They call him. So we should be seeing them next week, I think.
It was funny, when they called him, and he's like, Mom, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. She goes, oh, should we call back in an hour? And he goes, then it'd be 2 o'clock in the morning. Our mom would do that.
So
she was like, oh, yeah, I'll just call back in, like, 15 minutes then. I'm like, Mom, no. It just reminded me of our mom so much. But, so I think that we're definitely going to see more of them, hopefully.
Yeah,
Patrick Duffy.
Yeah, Patrick Duffy plays his dad. His mom, I recognize, but I
don't know her name.
We'll get her name for next week, because we really do think they're going to be in next week's episode. Or actually, there isn't an episode next week.
Oh, yeah.
So the week after. And so more predictions. Like you said, maybe the uncle's going to have his own show, like its own episode, because he hasn't been on it since the beginning. And he actually does love Bruce because he loves Americans. So that would be great if he came back, because Bruce would have another friend.
We have to see Bruce making more friends, because there's just no way they can. I mean, if we're seeing Emma alone and with her friends, we have to show Bruce in the same scenarios. And so, I mean, they have to.
Yeah, because no one wants to watch him at home by himself being really sad.
Yeah, well,
that's just sad. So hopefully we see happy Bruce eating more Selmas. He loves Selmas. And maybe with Semla. Semla. Maybe he can eat a Semla with a buddy.
Yeah, so
that would be great. So hopefully we can see more friends. And hopefully Emma, I don't know when she's going to come around, back to being Emma, like the one we saw the first few episodes.
I know, it's crazy how fast that changed.
I know. Hopefully soon. And then Gustav. We can't forget about him.
We gotta have more Gustav. He's my fave.
I think he's gonna be back. I think he's gonna be back with a new entrepreneur endeavor he's gonna want to do.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Do you have any other predictions?
No, I think that's it. So
we're excited to see how this plays out with Bruce and Emma.
Definitely. For social media, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Britta_Garsow.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Carli_Garsow.
Thanks you guys for watching and listening. See you 2 weeks.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.